practice that so it becomes a habit.
I want to ask you just about what people don't know yet about this team. We've seen you guys play a couple games. Everybody's enamored with Shador and the big playability. But the fundamentals seem to be there. Like, this is a team that's clearly well coached. But what do the fans not know?
Say that again. I don't think they heard.
What do we not know yet about this team that eventually is going to play itself out?
I mean, people made a big deal out of how many we brought in. But like you say, we haven't been penalized much. And it's been self-inflicted wounds when we are penalized. These young men are disciplined, not only on the field, off the field as well as in the classroom. The biggest thing that we've earned since we've been here in that mass exodus is we had the highest GPA in the history of Colorado football last spring. So our guys understand the commitment and what it takes. They understand the sacrifice. There's no way you sit up here and you ain't sacrifice. There's no way you get out there and ball out and you ain't sacrifice something. It has to be a sacrifice, and they're willing to sacrifice those little things that disable them to go forward.
You teaching discipline and accountability, loyalty, buy-in, being a great teammate. My mama taught me that is the stuff that matters whenever you're an actual human. Now, I did hear from a coach that also coaches a team in this particular state earlier this week that his mama,
Mama, you breaking mamas. You start breaking mamas. You start breaking mamas. You start breaking mamas out of put my foot back. His mama taught him that you don't wear sunglasses and a hat whenever you're talking to adults. And like, I know that is something that the elite athletes will always pull from and draw inspiration from. You're certainly going to do that. Oh,
why do you think that is a reaction? Why do you think people even judge you, especially with the success you've had in everything?
When you so right, you got to find something wrong. We are so right. You got to find something wrong. And if you could just search and go through this, you can't talk about the kids, you can't talk about the coaches, you can't talk about what we play. You got to come to me personally. And you got to find something wrong. But guess what? My mama may be a part of the pregame speech today. Okay? My mama may be a part of that today. I'm just letting you know. That's something that nobody knows. She may be a part of that today.
I love it. Maybe the sunglasses are so sweet. You release that out there. They may be more handsome.
You blessed me yesterday.
Did we remove some?
Move some. Word. What was the numbers? 1.2 mil? Oh, wait. Remove some.
It's part of all of that book. I heard you say something in another interview. You said you make people nervous. Why?
Because I'm willing to step outside the box and consistently be me. You know one thing I love about this show, amongst many things, all you guys are consistently who you are. That's when I love to laugh. I mean, you're the perfect quarterback. And what you bring to the table is unbelievable. And this is a pillar of consistency and professionalism that I love. And when you start doing things consistently that they can't detect or detach or they can't, they judge, but they can't duplicate it.
Right.
That places fear in people's heart. And you know what? I love it.
Yeah.
God, I love it. I love it. It ain't no difference when you play. Yeah. This is a game to me. We play to win. Not only to win, we play to dominate.
But you, magnetic personalities, we know. December 7th, Prime Video will launch Coach Prime Season 2, show everything behind the scenes with Colorado football, show the hat, the glasses. What are the chances you think J.J. Norvell talks to you today and takes off his hat and he's wearing one?
Well, when we meet at the conclusion of the game, just keep the camera rolling.
Why do you do it? I don't understand.
It's like every week or something, but can we
I don't bother nobody. When I play, I didn't talk junk when I played. I told you what I was going to do, but I never down another man. When I had to humiliate another man, I don't want that. I don't lift and promote and provoke change in everybody. I don't want to. I can't down another man. That's going to bless me for putting another man down.
Think about it, though, but it gives you such great theater. Why is it that you think that theater like that? What is it?
Yeah.
This man could run for president and win. You do know that?
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Wow.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
You can feel the electricity, Coach Prime.
That was Mike there.
Hey, you know,
Mike there.
here we go. You can feel the electricity, Colorado.
I need you to do I need you to do that one more time, but put these on.
These are the ones. These are the ones.
You're going to get more out of it. You got that.
We'll try that one more time. Colorado, you can feel the electricity. Blinders glasses available now.
I need to get a pair of them joints. Rock, you come in here, you know football, obviously played at Miami. What is it that you see from what Deion has been able to do at Colorado that's so fascinating and compelling?
Here's what I can see. What Deion is doing right now, let's talk about this just for a second, is we are witnessing something that is not only game-changing in the face of college football, but also something very special. And what that special thing is passion mixed with love, mixed with disruption, mixed with swagger, mixed with confidence, but also there's an undercurrent here that Coach Prime is doing, is he's changing the face of college football, and he's doing it his way. But he's also doing it in a way that, and this is the hard part, that is galvanizing not only a town here in Boulder, Colorado, but also galvanizing an entire country.
Yeah.
You can make me cry, man. You're trying to make me cry. Oh, did you hear? Hard to find.
Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate that. Deion Sanders, head coach of Colorado. Rock, if you will. Could you take the break and get these people fired up?
Let's go. Let's do this, baby. Colorado. Wow.
You have no idea.
No, we got so much more coming up with the Rock. I think that this show might have done one thing that probably never happened in Deion Sanders' entire playing career. I think we caught him flat-footed with the Rock.
I love you so much, man.
Meet the future. A chef, a designer, and an engineer. All learning to save and spend their money with Chase. The chef's cooking up first with their new debit card. The designer's eyeing seafood with, plaid. While mom is eyeing spending. Nice. And the engineer? She's taking control of her own account for college. 3 futures, all with Chase. Freedom for kids, control for parents. One bank for both. Chase, make more of what's yours.
College Football Playoff National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. That's the pride at the end of the rainbow, the final year of the 14 playoff. Colorado dreams of someday they will be in the middle of that. We've got four games coming up at noon Eastern Time, including Florida State, Boston College on ABC, Mississippi State, and LSU follows us here on ESPN as well. Jordan Travis from the Seminoles getting said whether or not as bad as they anticipated in Boston, that bandana game for the Eagles. The Seminoles have Clemson coming up next week. We'll look forward to that game coming up among those many that will start at noon Eastern Time. Remember when USC dominated college football? Everybody in Hollywood loved them. They'll be on top forever. Nope. How about the Alabama dynasty? It's bad for the sport that they win so much, people say. Now with Georgia, they'll never lose again. But what people forget is that those powerhouse programs went through some dark days before they got back to the top. Much like teams that are resurgent this year, Miami, Texas, Penn State, and Florida State. Now, there have been flashes over the last 10 years. Seminoles won it all in 13. But over the last 10 years, if you add up the number of losing seasons and coaching changes, that number is 7 times greater than the number of conference championships or playoff berths that these four have. But it appears the slumbering giants are awake.
There's a different vibe, a different juice about this football team.
They're a playoff caliber team. I don't think there's any question about that.
Here comes I'm going to tell you, you are built for this. Launch, delivers down. Might be the most difficult offensive in the entire Big Ten. We talked about getting better each week. If we do that, we'll like where we're at come the end of the season.
Something different here in South Florida.
And the right way. That's one of them all.
That one game isn't going to define our season. We've got goals and aspirations of being champions this year.
And we're here at the DoorDash dashboard. You take a look at the conference title odds that these teams have. Florida State, Texas will not quite believe in Penn State and Miami just yet, but with all the history and the tradition that we have. But the DoorDash dashboard, staying power is the question. How do you assess Florida State? Do they have enough staying power for the rest of the season?
I think they really do. We talked earlier about the talent, but they also have a lot of depth. I love the depth offensively and defensively. I think Florida State looking pretty good. Right out the gate. Tough test. LSU, second half, dominated by you Bengals. I like the adjustments that they made during the game. I think they have staying power, you guys.
I think so, too. I like their weapons, even though Johnny Wilson's going to have to start catching the ball a little bit more. With Jordan Travis doing Coach Norvell. I think he has the boys ready to go. Three in the country right now. Florida State's in a great spot.
I think they're real. I think they've got all the ingredients. They've got a team that's coming out of some really tough years. I think they got a motivated team, and they got the quarterback. So I think the defense is going to get better and better. Adam Fuller does a great job on that side. So the one game, I think be ready for all the big ones. That game worries me because Duke is real, and they don't sound real. Right. So that's basketball. That one's on. That's the one. Next week, that's at noon, by the way. Not game at
The thing is, Florida State got themselves a little wiggle room there. They don't have to win that game. They come win the SEC.
Noon is a different challenge.
What about Texas State power?
Two teams after 2 weeks that I think are the two you have to say are real. Florida State and Texas, based on what we've seen and what they've been able to do. That win last week. Now, on the back end, how does yours and Texas handle it? Old Texas, they're going to show up flat today. Old Texas is going to stumble against the team they shouldn't. I'm buying in on this new Texas. Another team that suffered and been through some pain. They got the quarterback. I just just hope they use this as a springboard. It's not as a game that's going to then they go back down.
I love the way they responded on the road when they dealt with adversity and Tuscaloosa against Alabama. Shows the maturity of their team. Good challenge against Wyoming, though.
I think so. And the thing that we have to talk about this Texas team, they are so big and so athletic. I was very lucky to be on the field with that standing right there. I'm standing next to Matthew McConaughey from the moon on NBC. Quick viewers threw that ball to a spot. I didn't really watch it. It was like perfectly in his hands. And then you think about A.D. Mitchell is out there. The D-line is huge. This team has the best odds.
We got to come on. I like these teams.
Both are 2 for 2.
We're not going to be seeing a lot of this for a while. It's going to be a lot.
Let me try.
So the reason why I like Penn State is because not only is the run game good, but the quarterback seems to be a big guy, Ohio guy. It's always been a question mark. Can the quarterback get them to the place they want to go to, which is the top of the Big Ten, which has been home of Ohio State, Michigan for so long. I think they're fans already, and I think this team is built to be like that.
They always have big athletic players around the quarterback. Quarterback is very different. Howard gets his first test on the road. So we'll see how he handles that. We all expect him to play well. My question to you guys is, are we putting them yet in the category with the first two? Are you putting them? This is the point in it. That one. This one over here.
Exactly.
So they've got some
good test against Illinois.
That was a step up.
I think one of the people most skeptical about that we had in that piece is probably Miami. Now, that was a great win against Texas A&M, but it's Texas A&M. They've got problems in their own. Maybe we need a little more reinforcement here. Exactly what the Hurricanes have. Let's bring out the former Hurricane. Come on. Rockets, their staying power. Wherever you work. Are the Hurricanes back? They got some staying power now?
I think so. Mark Cristobal, they're 3-0. They had a great win last week against Texas A&M. Protecting Van Dyke, what he came in and did in terms of Cristobal, making sure that he revamped that O-line. No surprise there because, of course, there's no lineman. He's got that DNA. And they're looking good. They're looking solid. So I'm proud of my boys.
I always want to talk about the Miami swag. You live that, right? It seems like everybody's tried to talk about that. Mario's not doing that. But what do we do to be able to get back to being that team that they used to be? How do you do that?
Well, I think what you do is Mario doesn't have to do that because Mario lived it. That's what we did back then. So he lived that swagger, and he understands national champions, etc. So he just has to continue to do what he's doing, which is, at the end of the day, the hard work is the only thing that's going to be the current in that program right now, and I think he's bringing them back.
I hope so.
As I was thinking back in Miami swagger, it occurred to me there was a game here in 1993.
Really?
That Miami swagger
Fight?
Yeah, here in 1993. We got 94 in here. It's got to Jack Yes.
Yeah.
There he is.
Tell me about the fight, Rock. Here he is.
Let's talk about that. We'll save that for later. That was a game we came in here. That team was a team back then. Stewart. They were just a couple of years removed from winning the national championship as well. So that was a huge fight. Not a proudest moment, but Coach Brown used to use it, as he says, it's personal. It's always personal.
That's when shoulder pads were shoulder pads.
Exactly. I do have a question. Did you chase the mascot in this melee?
I may or may not have. So in this moment, I'm still looking for action. And you want action? I'd love to happen to see the mascot, and he was gesturing like, oh, you want some action? So then I tried to come up with the stands.
I'll bet you the mascot wouldn't want any action right now. Rock's going to get ready to make some picks. Going to have some food coming away from our College Game Day tailgate chefs. We're going to Bring that food out, share it with the people over there. Steve Queen, Jerry McGinty from River and Woods right here in Boulder. There's some of that Buffalo coming up there. We don't even get a taste of this. The Rock will be with us to make some picks. LC with his 400 headgear. It's all coming up on a great morning here in Boulder.
At Papa John's, we start. 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 With better. Like these on. You are certain. We start. With better. Like these on. You are certain. We start.
Homeserve.com.
With better. Like these on. You are certain. We start. With better. Like these on.
The energy when there is a proud program that has largely been through hard times for an extended period of time, when they start to come back, man, it is tough to match that for College Game Day. Jay Norvell. Hey, you know what? I want to haven't had a chance to say this.
Okay.
So what? He was talking to his team.
No.
Norvell wanted to let him know, hey, we're not afraid. Right. All right.
Well, he did it in a media interview, but yeah.
Well, but when you talk to the media, you're either talking to the media, your fans, or your players.
And you're talking to the other team, too.
Well, he did. Fair enough.
Got their attention.
Fair enough.
Certainly did.
I mean, they're 24-point underdogs. What's going to happen? They lose by 34? I mean, you got nothing to lose.
True, very true.
Good for them. Jen Latta with story on someone who's seen pretty much everything with the Buffs, Jen.
That's a really great point, Reese. You know, Folsom Field is celebrating 100 years this year. And in November, Peggy is celebrating 99. When it comes to celebrities here in Boulder, it is Prime and it is Peggy. When the two of them met earlier this year, they really bonded over shared beliefs in a higher power and in the heights that the Buffaloes could reach this season.
6 days a week, 98-year-old Peggy Copham travels a few blocks from her Boulder home to Sacred Heart of Jesus, her place of worship. Here, she prays for her family, for the world, and in the fall, the guys who occupy this place of worship.
It's the most majestic setting in all of college football. This building is rocking right now.
There have been a few times that I think they need some prayer.
End zone! Touchdown! Shedeur Sanders came with the heater.
I tell the Blessed Mother to get interested in this game.
A lot has changed since the Boulder native and her twin Betty were born on November 19th, 1924. But the one thing that has never wavered is Peggy's commitment to the Colorado Buffaloes.
We wanted to go to everything. We just have a loyalty. We're the Colorado natives, and that's our school.
The twins started going to games when they were teenagers and stayed through marriage and motherhood, ever matching and ever present in the last row of Section 104.
They have their pom-poms, they love to cheer. I'm telling you, they'll be here for another 90 years. Unbelievable ladies.
Betty and I never would leave a game early. We always said we would never leave those kids on the field alone.
For 95 years, they were a tandem. But in August of 2020, Betty died after a battle with cancer. The following summer, the university honored the twins with 2 trees and a plaque along the Buff Walk near Folsom Field.
Take room for me up there, Betty. I'm trying on. I'm doing the best I can. We had a lot of fun. God bless you.
I want you to meet this young man right here.
How you doing?
I'm Peggy.
Peggy, how you doing?
Are you Prime?
That's what they call
Do
me?
I call you that or?
No, they call me anything
Yeah.
you want. You good.
Well, how about good looking?
There you go.
That'll do. Okay. It's unbelievable what it's been like. I've never would have ever dreamed one man could cause this much excitement and interest.
You know what we need to do when we have the spring game? We need to bring you down on the field.
98-year-old Peggy Copham, a CU superfan. What a moment for her. She's seen some good times. She's seen the bad times.
Peggy's definitely a sweet lady, and she loves Colorado football, so we love her.
Got a game ball here for our most valuable player.
You look at her and you're like, this is a fan. This is the people that we're playing for.
Give me my theme music. And then he grabbed me and we started dancing again, and I've got this big football in my arm and trying not to fall down, and here we are dancing.
Peggy and Prime. It's a new tandem, aligned in celebrating a good time, and at long last at Folsom Field, a good team too.
I feel really grateful to have Deion Sanders here. I'm tired of being a good loser. We've been a good loser for many years, and it is really fun to be a good winner. I'm grateful that at my age that I can still be here and cheer for the team.
And we are so lucky to have Peggy Copham here with us on College Game Day. And she has something she wants to say to the fans. You ready, Peggy? What do you want to tell them?
Give me my buff cap.
program, guys. So happy to have Peggy with us here this morning on College Game Day, Reese.
That's great.
Jen, that's great. She's sitting on that turnover throne. She deserves a throne for sure. She's seen just about everything here at Colorado over the years, from Wizard White to Rashawn Salam. But maybe no buff has ever seen anyone like Travis Hunter, except maybe Deion Sanders when he looked in the mirror in the 80s and the 90s. You talk to coaches who have either played against or have scouted Colorado, and they say even if you exploit their offensive line, Shedeur Sanders is a maestro. He can erase 3rd and long with a ton of weapons, and that's what Colorado State will have to deal with tonight.
Snap to Shedeur. Drops, scans. He's got time. Looking downfield. Now he's going right side of the end zone. Touchdown, Colorado!
Shedeur's played very well for them. He's probably been the key to their first 2 victories. We definitely have to find a way to slow him down.
I'm really excited to play against Shedeur. He's a good pocket passer. It's a great challenge for us as a defense. And at the end of the day, it's going to be about how well can we execute our assignments.
We're seeing why Travis Hunter was as highly recruited and highly regarded as he was. He has been absolutely unstoppable on both sides of the ball.
Travis is a dog. He's not from this planet. He does everything. He goes forever. He doesn't get tired.
Travis Hunter is phenomenal that he can go both ways, but we got a lot of good players, and I like our guys.
Showdown tonight in this offense, night and day from what it was a year ago. They've already put up 81 points in 2 games, and Shedeur's thrown for over 1,000 yards, Kurt.
Well, it's an offense that can't quite get the run game going, as you said, but I think that Sean Lewis is finding different ways to attack, at least these first couple games, and it's put a lot on the passing game and Shedeur Sanders. And time now for our easy choice presented by Geico.
Nailed it.
Nailed that. Keep the trend going as Dez has set the tone. But Deion Sanders went out and hired Sean Lewis. And what I think we're seeing in these first couple weeks is this. They get pressure. Right now, you're watching a quarterback that's as good as there is in the country. And when he gets pressured, he escapes and he makes great throws with his eyes downfield. He's not looking to scramble to run. He's looking to throw, a lot like what Bryce Young did last year. How do you defend him? You play man-to-man. Here they get you ISO'd all that space. If you can get Dylan Edwards out in space, he's got a convoy in front of him. You're going to play man-to-man. Now you got to try to make tackles in space. Tough thing to do for any defense that's out there. This is where the offensive line, some people say, you know what we're going to do? We're not going to play man. We're going to rush 3. We're going to drop 8. Sanders won't have anywhere to throw the ball. Well, look at the amount of time that he has. Eventually, there's going to be a bust. All those deep crossers open up a nice big vacancy on the back end of that zone, and he makes a great throw. But the offensive line deserves an assist for giving him that time. And again, this is, to me, the athleticism. What Sean Lewis recognizes is he's got dynamic playmakers. Find matchups, find ways to be able to get them out in space. They spread defenses out. And Des, to me, that's the great challenge, not only for Colorado State, starting in conference play with Oregon next week, USC, trying to figure out you play man, you play zone. How do you deal with Sanders and all these great athletes that they have to throw the football to?
And to give Sanders some credit, Shedeur, I spoke with him last week, and I was really impressed by his maturity and his football IQ. You know, the TCU game was kind of a shootout, right? Fast offense. But then Nebraska game a week ago, Nebraska wanted to play prevent defense, take the air out of the ball, and to Shedeur's credit and the offense credit too, they were patient. They just took what the defense gave them, and then they exploded in the second half. They have another receiver too, Xavier Weaver, 144 yards a game through the air. Reception catches.
Yeah.
He's a weapon.
Yep.
18 yards per catch.
Yeah.
Make sure you keep an eye on him. Deion told me, he said, Desmond, this kid's a grown man. Just keep an eye on him.
Yeah, he's number 1, and whenever he gets rolling, it is fantastic to watch. And then you see Travis Hunter on the other side. Travis Hunter is averaging like 136 plays a game or something like that. What we're seeing out of this Iron Man is not just casually getting through plays either. He's the most explosive person on the field for 136 plays over the last 2 games. You think about the D and the L that Deion puts on the chest instead of the C's.
Yeah.
It's like the guys they have in leadership positions all can handle this situation. It's not too big for them. They were born for it. And I love this Colorado Buffaloes team, and I'm so thankful that they are who they are, because a lot of teams get hyped, especially 18 to 22. Yeah. A lot of teams get a lot of things put on their head, and then they crumble. They can't handle the pressure. They can't handle the spotlight. It's like Prime is living, okay? But Prime is also preaching and teaching to these guys that they haven't accomplished anything yet. And I think the end is so much higher than they are right now. I love it. I love watching them. I love watching them.
It was really interesting to hear Deion say that this is your reward. You know, a lot of coaches try to pull you back down, but they say, hey, you know, you get this attention when you win. So will they win and will they cover tonight, Stanford Steve?
I love what we're going to see tonight. You guys touched on all the stuff. Shedeur is going to have a field day after watching what Cam Ward and Washington State did to that Colorado State offense or defense. But Colorado's defense, I'm not there yet. Colorado wins, ton of points scored. Colorado State covers.
Yeah, they can throw it. They can throw it.
Love you too.
You picked them to win. They didn't like to. They're not going to cover.
It's not good enough.
Picked them to win.
That's how quickly things have improved around here, right? Immediately following our show, DoorDash counting us down to kickoff in Starkville. Zach Arnett and Brian Kelly, Mississippi State and LSU.
It's a Mike Leach move. Bring the coffee out pregame.
A little pre-workout in there too.
Yeah.
At least there is an homage to Mike there too, because the offense certainly looks different. Jaden Daniels yet to run for a touchdown this year.
Yeah, but last week threw for 5. Feels like he's all the way back to last year's. And now here's 4-year starter Will Rogers running the ball more.
Yeah,
running the ball a little bit more this year.
We threw it 17 times last week. I would imagine they're going to have to spin it a little bit more in this one today. Okay, our Superdog standings. Pat McAfee still rolling at the top. Rich Rod coming through with a push for you last week, Pat.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate that. It's a good lead.
Desmond and I got on the board there. A couple covers. LC, who you got this week, pal?
Minnesota -7.5 versus North Carolina. Over the last 2 years, Minnesota is the only team that finished in the top 15 in all major defensive categories. I'm going with the defense. Sorry, Brownies.
All right, I'm going to go to the Big Ten. When in doubt, got to get off to Schneid here. I'm going to go Penn State and Illinois. I think I'm getting, 14.5. I think Penn State will win. I just think they may have to work for a little bit. Work for an early kick there in Champaign.
Southern, I look at Georgia Southern here as a team. There he is, the quarterback, Bryn, very capable player. They keep it close in Madison.
Yeah, so I bounced back and forth for a couple of teams, but once I heard about the not winning in 20 years or something like that, I said, give me Florida getting 7 in this swamp. Now, do I trust Tennessee? Do I like Heupel? Yes, I love the Volunteers, but I've been told it's just different down there. We shall see as I extend my lead.
Different. How about Tulane at Southern Miss? What is it, plus 13? You guys know that Southern Miss is 7-1 against Tulane at home. I like the fact that they bring back 9 starters on offense, so I'm going Southern Miss.
Still don't know about Michael Pratt in that game, too. They're waiting to see. I'm going to go with the Corso Bowl. They're playing in Indianapolis. Louisville against Indiana. The Hoosiers are getting 10. I know Jeff Brom always put up points on Indiana, but third downs, I had to search deep. Kirk, I'm trying to talk myself into it. I mean, I sang the Indiana fight song.
Oh, Indiana,
Indiana, you. Indiana taking the 10.
Oh, you don't sound sure.
All right, Corsos. Our celebrity guest picker, it's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
What's up, Boulder? It'd be cool to look in the mirror and see that. Come on, baby. Wouldn't it be? Come on, baby. It's personal. It's personal.
Meet the team, behind the team, the coach, the manager,
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. And in part by DoorDash. Break time equals order time. Order in now so you never miss a minute of the game. And the Lexus ES, a direct reflection of you.
I can tell, that's why I asked.
Rock loves Boulder, the Boulder loves the Rock, based on the reaction that we've had here. Thanks to our good friends at Wheels Up, who every week make sure that we get our celebrity guest picker here. Wheels Up and Delta teaming up to make sure those things work out for us. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear is more driven. We go to the check down, the very latest news with the authority, Pete Thamel.
Reese will start local here. True freshman Hank Zelinskis will probably make his first start at center for Colorado tonight. Van Wells is doubtful after getting injured at Nebraska. Michael Pratt, a game-time decision after missing the Ole Miss game last week. They're going to let him see in warm-ups against Southern Miss. We have 3 Florida State starters out at Boston College today. Of note, winds of 17 to 20 miles an hour in Chestnut Hill with Hurricane Lee looming. And for number 1 Georgia, Ladd McConkey doubtful, expected to miss his 3rd straight game. All SEC defensive back Javon Bullard probable with an ankle injury.
2 great players.
Yeah, also, you know what, Pete? Also, Ole Miss has some injury issues in that Georgia Tech game. Just heard that Quinshon Judkins is doubtful. How about Joe Willie going 10-4 last week?
We're about to set the new bar right here. We're about to set the new bar.
Okay, all right. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's here. You ready to go to the top of the leaderboard there? All right, let's do it.
Hey,
time for Saturday selections presented by Coors Light, and we'll start with Minnesota and North Carolina. PJ Fleck rowing the boat to Chapel Hill.
Yeah, North Carolina's defense struggled last week against App State, so you know they're going to be focused on the defense all week long. A low-scoring game because Minnesota's going to take the air out of the ball. I do have UNC winning this game against Minnesota.
I think last week was a nice scare for this North Carolina team with the App State double overtime. They get out of there with a dub. Let's go ahead and never think about that, and let's move on. Give me North Carolina winning over PJ Fleck in Minnesota.
Is it my turn to talk? It is. Okay, got it. All right, I got my pen. I'm looking cool. I'm feeling smart.
Yeah.
All right, I got my notes here, boys. Here we go. All right, UNC's running back Hampton. He rushed for 234 yards last game. I think Minnesota gets a big dose of him this week going with North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Okay. Not so fast, not so fast, not so fast.
Yeah, baby.
Minnesota, big in style. They upset the Tar Heels. Minnesota.
You've done a lot of cool things in your time, but you finally got a not so fast.
Yes, and this sets the bar.
I'm going with Minnesota too.
Oh, good.
I think they're going to pull North Carolina and all that speed into the mud. This is like an 18-12 kind of game. Minnesota is a team that loves, and PJ Fleck loves to be an underdog. Give me Minnesota.
Good pick.
Big game for Neil Brown in the backyard brawl. Pitt and West Virginia.
You know, Pitt lost to Cincy last week, so you know it was a tough week for Pitt with Narduzzi. They're going to come in there with an attitude. Hard-fought game. It's going to come down to the end. I think that Pitt will win by a field goal.
In Morgantown, West Virginia, that's the reason why I don't think there's a chance. With Neil Brown's seat so incredibly blistering hot.
You're keeping that seat hot.
We can't do this and do that. Can't do it under one coach, especially at West Virginia. But this is a lot of pride on the line for the state of West Virginia. I think WVU gets a massive win at home.
Gentlemen, this is a very emotional pick for me right now. I'm going to tell you why. Coming out of high school, both schools recruited me, offered me scholarships. I took my official visits, one to Pitt, one to West Virginia. West Virginia was amazing, Morgantown, but Pitt. Gentlemen, the cameras are rolling, so I can't tell you what I did that weekend. You know, Lee, you know what I'm talking about. But here's the thing. Out of respect for my boy, my brother, Pat McAfee, alumni of West Virginia, that campus has never been the same since he left. I'm going to go with West Virginia.
I say, good, great pick. I'm going to tell you, 106 meeting of these two teams. 106 times. West Virginia won 4 of the last 5 at Morgantown. West Virginia game.
Boom.
Me and Daz.
Yes, sir.
Me and Daz.
Yes, sir.
Me and Daz. Me and Daz. I'm going with Pitt. What's your problem? Only because Pat and I have a bet that West Virginia will not get above 5 wins. So I give Pitt, and Pat Narduzzi's in a bad mood because of last week.
That's in there.
Daz and I.
All right, game coming up, early start, Penn State at Illinois. Who you got?
Oh, man, I tell you what, Penn State, you know, this is a team that's trying to climb that mountain. They want to beat Ohio State. They want to beat Michigan. But You must focus on this Illinois team because they lost against Kansas. They're going to be in a bad mood, but Penn State gets the dub on the road.
I agree with you. I believe in this James Franklin team this year for one reason or another. Penn State's always let down their fan base at some point, seemingly, over the last 15, 20 years. This team's different. I like Penn State today.
I agree with you. Let me tell you something. That defense is scary up there. So we are Penn State.
Nice, nice.
Nice pick, nice pick. Penn State's ranked 7th in the country, so they cover 14. That's for.
Well, that's my super dog. I hope they don't cover it. But I do think we're going to learn a lot about Penn State, and if they're a real threat to Ohio State and Michigan and maybe one of the Big Ten, it's how Drew Aller will play on the road, where he's going to be challenged. I think Illinois is going to keep it close. They got to start faster than last week. Luke Altmaier's got to play a little bit better, and they got to play better around him. Close game, Penn State wins.
But that's the closest spread in the top 10 today.
Yes.
2 touchdowns, 14. Washington and Michigan State, Harlan Barnett taking over as head coach for the moment for Michigan State.
I like Washington in this game because I don't know the mentality, the mindset of this Michigan State team now because of what took place with Mel Tucker and Harlan Barnett being the coach. So I'm going to go with Washington and Michael Penix Jr.
Michigan State has been able to rush the rock the past 2 games pretty well. So keeping Penix Jr. off the field would be a good move for the alternate head coach. But I like the way Washington plays football, and I like their culture. Give me Washington going into Michigan getting a win.
I agree, brother. I think Washington, they're looking great. I believe they're number 1 in the country with their passing attack. I think I got to get that right. But at the same, and I know Michigan States are going through some issues right now. But here's the thing: when you got a quarterback who's that good, it really motivates the defense.
Yeah.
So I just want to see what that D-line's going to do. I'm still going to Washington, but I want to see what that D-line will do.
Washington's offense is too much for Spartans. Washington by 20.
Washington.
By 20. I think it's a real good week for Washington to be able to prove this is a team that won 10 last year. All they're hearing about are all the distractions from Michigan State. Be easy to just show up and go through the motions and fight for your life to get out of there with a win. I don't think so. I think Kalen DeBoer will have them ready. Penix has a monster game. Washington wins big.
You know what? I agree. Look at that graphic.
A lot of
and
them.
80%.
And all signs point green.
Exactly.
All signs point green.
How about Syracuse, Purdue?
Oh, man, I tell you what, Syracuse is looking really good, but the level of competition has not been up there. It has been really subpar. Purdue's battle-tested. They lost the game. I'm going with the Boilermakers over Syracuse.
Okay, I like the Boilermakers as well because Coach Walters had his defense flying around second half last week. Not a single point given up. Give me Purdue to get the big dub.
You guys got the details down. I got to tell you in the stats, but here's what I got. Garrett Schrader, of course, I feel like he's going to have a great game. But here's the thing that I didn't know. Their mascot, the orange mascot, is in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
How about that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I'm going with Syracuse.
He took a page out of your notes right there.
I said it again. I'll say it again. I was a coach in Indiana. I hate Purdue. Anybody but Purdue. Anybody but Purdue.
Boiler up for me today. I think Hudson Card has a chance to have a big game. And this is a Purdue team. You know, they lose week 1 to Fresno. They bounce back, find a way against Virginia Tech. New head coach. It's a chance for them to get a little bit of momentum. I'm going with the Boilers.
You know, and Arkansas hasn't run the ball as well as expected. Rocket Sanders has been hurt. BYU comes in there as an 8-point underdog.
KJ Jefferson's been playing really good. 5 touchdown passes, no interceptions, completing 73% of his passes. I'm going with the Razorbacks.
Yeah, you know, I don't know why I did this, but it's just kind of how I feel. Give me BYU. I just think for some reason, mature team going in there, getting a big-time dub. Look for that one today.
Very mature team.
Thank you. Very mature.
Last week,
very mature.
Very mature. That's how I feel right now. Very mature. Wait till the show goes on. You guys going to see. So I have to say, look, that defense kept them in the game last week until that offense caught up. So I'm same thing. I'm going to have to go with Arkansas.
Rock, that's a terrific pick. Terrific pick.
Thank you, my friend.
And home field advantage, Arkansas, 2 touchdowns.
BYU going into SEC territory.
Yeah.
Right? That I want to see. I want to see how they handle that atmosphere. I know Sanders is out. Puts more on KJ Jefferson. I think he's going to play throwing the football and also some big runs in a run.
I love that.
And that's now Big 12 against the SEC.
Yes.
With BYU there.
Yes.
Getting used to all those conferences.
Yeah.
You saved the graphic there, Pat.
Yeah,
Thanks
saved
for
the
that.
graphic for sure.
As soon as we're done,
Arkansas
LSU and
fans
Mississippi State. Bayou Bengals have won 10 of their last 11 in Starkville.
Yeah, Mississippi State struggled with mobile quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels has not had a rushing touchdown yet. He gets one today. I'm going with the Bayou Bengals.
I am agreeing with you, my friend. Give me LSU just because I feel like it's going to be time for Daniels to get going. Had 5 touchdowns last week. Obviously wasn't the start he wanted. Give me LSU and Brian Kelly bouncing back.
I agree. Jaden Daniels all day long. But, again, I'm a defensive boy, so I think it's going to motivate that D-line. I like to see how those guys are going to get after him.
I hate to tell you this.
Still going with LSU.
Yeah, LSU. Oh, that's perfect. The Cowboys, right?
Yeah, the cowbells.
Cowboys as well. There's Cowboys there.
Yeah.
And Cowgirls.
Cowbells of Mississippi State upset LSU.
Wow.
Too many cowbells.
The loud cowbells. Early kick, 11 a.m. local, right after the show. I'm going with LSU. I think the setback in week 1 to Florida State really woke LSU up. And I don't think Mississippi State, they're going to be able to run the football against that front that Rock's talking about. I got LSU. Jaden Daniels making a lot of plays.
Thamel told us a few moments ago, Georgia rather is going to be without Lad McConkey. It's their first conference game. South Carolina is the last team to win in Athens, and they did it in 2019.
I tell you what, this Georgia defense will get after Spencer Rattler. They got some guys with a lot of experience, and we saw Spencer Rattler against UNC earlier in the season, a couple of weeks ago. Did not look good when he's pressured. I like Georgia big over South Carolina today.
Yeah, and a lot of people are wondering about Georgia's offense because they haven't really had to do much thus far. This is a good test to see where this Georgia offense is under Carson Beck's direction. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs having a great day and rattling the Rattler of South Carolina.
Look, I agree. I think that O-line is going to come out, and I think they're going to show out. Defense is always great at Georgia. Brock Bowers, who we know is very personal, he's been great for us on Zoa Energy NIL program. I'm going to have to go with Georgia. And by the way, they can repeat. They got a real shot.
Yeah.
Wow. 3.
Georgia has the longest winning streak in the country at 19. Wow. They could make it 20.
Okay.
Nobody in the world is picking South Carolina, right? There's no chance. I think the story of the game is what The Rock just said. He keeps referring to defensive line for obvious reasons. The defensive line from Georgia against South Carolina's offensive line is a major concern for Rattler. And I just don't think South Carolina has much depth on defense. I think this game will get out of hand.
That's been a concern for Beamer. There are some graphics we try to save and some that are just fine the way they are. The red and black G's up there. Yeah. Kirk's calling Tennessee 40. Won't make a pick here. We've talked about the futility that the Vols have had in Gainesville. Who wins tonight?
The Swamp is a difficult place at night. It's just a different environment. I'm not sure I believe in this Napier's team thus far. I think Tennessee's going to win a close one, maybe about 3 points at the end.
You talk about Napier's team, and I think today is a massive game for Billy Napier and that entire squad and the outside optics of the entire building because of how long it's been since Tennessee has come into the Swamp and get a dub. So give me the Florida Gators. Backs against the walls.
Wow.
To beat Tennessee.
Wow.
Okay.
Good call.
Interesting pick.
Okay. Jalen Wright coming off of 9 yards per carry last week. That's going to be tough. But here's the thing, boys. You guys know this. Being a Miami boy, Miami Hurricane, biologically, I cannot root for No, Tennessee all the way.
Hey, being a Florida State guy, I agree with you. Listen to this. Tennessee hasn't won 2 in a row against Florida in 19 years. Tennessee by 2 touchdowns.
Come on.
Nice. Can you turn to me? I'll turn back to Rick.
Yep.
I'm calling the game. They don't let me make picks.
Kirk's headed down there as soon as the show's over to call Tennessee and Florida. But this one tonight, Colorado State and Colorado. All right. So Jay Norvell threw a little gasoline on the fire with his hat and glasses. Don't wear them when you talk to grown-ups, Sing. But the truth of the matter is this. Colorado has bigger tests ahead. At Oregon next week. USC here after that. What you found out about the foundation of a program, do you beat the teams you're supposed to beat? And they're supposed to beat the Rams tonight. They're a 24-point favorite. The last time the Buffs were this big a favorite, 2018, favored by 25 and a hook against Oregon State. And they lost.
Ooh.
We're going to see if the Buffs can take care of their business like grown-ups.
Wow.
It's time. I don't care if they hear it in Boulder. When I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and my glasses off. That's what my mother taught me.
You got to be a fool to do that.
We got the biggest stage in college football right now. Nobody's giving us a chance.
We want to dominate CSU. This week is domination.
It's going to be a great test, a battle of Colorado, but they messed around and made it personal.
It's personal. Who wins? And I was in the football building yesterday working out when I had a chance to talk to coaches and people on the strength conditioning staff and ask them about Jay Norvell's comments about Coach Prime. They just said one thing. They said, Desmond, Saturday night, they're going to F around and find out. I'm going Buffs.
The only thing I have to say about this is the last time College Game Day traveled to a game that was this big a point spread, speaking of the F-bomb, LC dropped an F-bomb when we were down at Houston. So I'm anxious to see if that happens here shortly. So I've got Colorado big. LC, I'm excited to see what you are.
And for me, I think ever since I was a child, I've looked up to Deion Sanders. I like the greats that know that they're great and work hard to be great and continue to be great in everything that they do. Since Coach Prime has been a coach, he has done nothing but dominate. He shows up here in Boulder. He gets his new Louis Vuitton luggage. They just so happen to be better, stronger, faster than everybody else they're on the field with. This Colorado Buffalo fan base has been yearning for a team like this for so long, and today's story started beautifully on College Game Day, and it's going to end with Colorado Buffaloes railroading Jay Norvell and Colorado State.
What do you do there, babe?
I got to tell you, boys, something. You're feeling this right now, and I think the world's feeling this. There's something really special here happening at Colorado, something special that's happening here in Boulder. And that special thing is this. You could feel the electricity. Yeah. You could feel the electricity. You could feel what we call mana, and it comes from in here. It's all around here. That's what Coach Prime is doing in this program. He's galvanizing this. He's galvanizing the team, galvanizing this campus, galvanizing the country, changing the game of college football. But here's what I say. It reminds me of our Miami days with swagger, with confidence. And here's the thing. You got to be a little crazy to disrupt. Right? You got to be a little crazy to disrupt. And here's what happens when you tell anyone, especially like Coach Prime, you can't do something. So today, Colorado all day, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's personal.
I think
it's always personal.
I think he wants you in the uniform today.
I'll set the edge. Any more eligibility?
Remember that comment about shoulder pads? He doesn't need them. He doesn't need them. And now, number 400, the 400th headgear pick.
Thank you, Coach.
It's real. Colorado is now the talk of the entire nation, and they deserve it. It's been 26 years since I picked Colorado. This pick is for my friend Chris Fowler. Buffaloes.
Here we go. For Fowler.
There we go. Headgear pick. In honor of Chris Fowler, Colorado alum, who will be on the call tonight for Tennessee and Florida. What a morning it's been here in Boulder. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, absolutely sensational. Thank you so much for being here. Deion Sanders joined us, cast of thousands. The 400th headgear is in the books, and now we're on our way to 500. What a morning it's been. Confetti is ready. Go Buffs! You can get those Buffs rolled up. Colorado State, 10 Eastern time tonight on ESPN.